My boyfriend and I were staying with his parents. They lived closer to his work, and he wanted to make sure he could get there because we were getting snow and ice for a couple weeks. Their house is a farmhouse on the outside of town. The basement was especially creepy, cold, and very big. There was a room all the way in the back that we slept in. We had our 2 dogs plus his parents' dogs sleeping with us to keep us warm. All pretty big dogs. There was a door on the other side of the basement behind the stairs, and it was attached to the garage outside. They would sometimes lock the doors, but because the house was a way out of town, they would just keep the garage door open on the side of the house and would forget to lock all the doors. We usually went to bed before his parents. We could hear them walking around, using the sliding glass door right above us, putting wood on the fire, etc. I woke up to my boyfriend grabbing my arm and whispering, "Get up, take the dogs, get into the car and lock the doors." I said, "What? Why?" He just repeated himself. "Get up, get the dogs, get into the car, and lock the doors." He was so persistent I didn't want to argue with him, so I got up, went upstairs, outside the car with my dogs, and locked the doors. I saw his dad walking around the house with a flashlight, and soon his mom walked out. I let her in the car and asked her what happened. She told me her husband woke up, telling her he heard something in the house. She said it was probably the kids. He said, "No, I just went and looked downstairs and didn't see any lights on." She said maybe it was the dogs. Again, he said no, he didn't see them. He left and a little while later came back and told her to go out to the car with me. She was so confused and told him he was scaring her. He just told her everything was going to be okay, but we need to get her outside. The cops came and went in the house. Soon after that, they came out with a big guy, maybe 6'5" and like 250 pounds. His face was very bloody, black and blue. He wasn't saying a word, but seemed a little disturbed. He started searching his pockets and were pulling out knives and bullets and some rope. Turns out he was running from the cops for home invasion and attempted murder. When I was outside with his mom, he said he went back in the basement with his dad, locking the doors behind him just in case so he could get whoever was down there. This guy was hiding in a closet, holding one of the house phones and my boyfriend's phone, also one of my boyfriend's guns, and thankfully it wasn't loaded. My boyfriend and his dad were trying to pull the gun away from him, and the guy started punching and attacking my boyfriend's dad. The guy had him down and was choking him. My boyfriend was able to get him on the ground and start beating the shit out of that guy. That's when his dad came outside for us to call the police. I've never been so scared in my life. I'm so glad they were okay, but it really worries me to think about what could have happened. They haven't heard the guy walking around the house collecting the phones. I visited Edmonton for New Year's Eve, so that shows you how long this shit happened. We did the usual, unpack at the hotel, walk around the mall, and wait for the New Year's fireworks. While I was in the room, I looked out the window at an area kinda forested. It was a cluster of trees. Maybe not there anymore, I don't know. Anyways, I saw something, human-like for sure, but tall as hell. I figured I was playing too much Slender, add that to the lack of sleep, and I figured it was my mind playing tricks on me. After the party and fireworks and falling asleep at 1 a.m., I thought I was out cold, until I just woke up for no reason. Felt like I needed to look out the window, so I did. I looked around, not focusing on anything, and then I looked at the trees again. The figure was there, but I could make out some features. For one, it was wearing a trench coat. I think a fedora as well, but I can't really remember. I blinked and it was gone. I continued to look around for the thing for about 20 minutes, I'd say. I spotted it on a nearby parking lot after a while. It held something, a book, a pitch black book. I looked at its face and woke up. I passed out on the floor apparently. That's how my mom found me anyway. She says I was as pale as hell and she asked why I was at the window. I just responded, I don't know, sleepwalking maybe, but she didn't buy it. I was about 7 when this happened. My sister and mom and I went to the park to watch a movie. It was an inflatable screen with a projector. When we got there, my sister and I wandered away from our spot, a little to the left of the screen. We wanted to see who could do the best cartwheel out of the two of us. That's when I saw him, a big guy about 6'2" in a dark hood walking towards us. I turned around and ignored him, but that's when he started pacing towards us. Mind you, I was 7 and my sister was 6. My mom saw him and grabbed us. She turned us away from him and looked him dead in the eyes. He started to walk back away to a white van with blacked out windows. I stay up at night wondering what would have happened if my mom wasn't there when she was. This happened to my siblings and I on the 13th. I was walking around in my room doing small things. I was sick, and being sick always made my asthma much worse. Out of nowhere, my youngest sister burst into my room very distraught. She needs a flashlight, she says. My youngest sister tells me her and my other younger sister saw something looking through the window. After searching outside with my brothers, we didn't find anyone. My dog didn't react either. We live on 5 acres of farmland in the forest, surrounded by mostly people who have horses. We see and hear no one. Surely if it was a person, we would hear them running to the road. It's not exactly close. They couldn't be hiding. It's all flat land which you could see as it's inclined. Forest trees cleared for fire safety. My sister was shaking, the one that experienced it first. I pressed her for more information. She said she was sitting at the computer. The moonlight is coming through the many windows as we keep them open. We have no neighbors close by. She said from the corner of her eye, she sees the moonlight shift. She turns her head and just sees the head and shoulders looking in the window from the bottom. She froze in fear. After trying to process what she is seeing, she ran to get our youngest sister to make sure she wasn't seeing things. They sneak back into the room where the window is. They are both paralyzed as they saw it was moving like it was looking around. By the time the rest of us got there, there was nothing. I don't know if it was a person or something else, but we made sure the house was locked. Moved into my new house about 5 years ago, and as this was the first time I ever really moved, so I was already not in the mood for this. The house was apparently at least 40 years old, so I had a feeling that this place was haunted. Keep in mind I was 8. So anyway, after about a week, I started hearing these noises coming from the box room, basically a spare room for leaving stuff to be used later. And I saw it looked like a figure just poking its head outside the doorway. I only ever saw him out of the corner of my eye, so I never really knew what he looked like. This happened for about 3 years, and then out of the blue just stopped. That is until 1 week ago. I felt compelled to look in there, and I regret it so much. Saw the figure in full. He was at least 6 foot, had no unique features to give a description except for the fact he had no face. At first I thought it was my shadow, but he blacked out the curtains. I passed out and woke up with 3 scratches on my chest that tore through my clothes. I have no idea what it was. I would greatly appreciate any help you can give me.